He won't marry me. This is driving so many women crazy. Stay with us. If you haven't subscribed, hit that button. If you got a question, put it in the box. He won't marry me. It reminds me of that classic movie, He's Not Into You. But let me give you 5 reasons why he may not be marrying you. Number 1 is immaturity. Spiritual immaturity, emotional immaturity. He's just not ready, and he knows he cannot carry the responsibility. He's in survival mode. He can barely pay his bills and get through life. He knows he can't carry the responsibility and see it through. He doesn't have a record of success. He sees himself as a failure. He's not motivated to do more, and marriage is more. Secondly, addictions, alcohol, drugs, pornography, all the social media addictions he can get into, all the AI stuff he can get into. These are distractions, but they keep him emotionally, spiritually, and morally immature. And so he would prefer to have a relationship with a it than a person. The it doesn't require all of him to show up. A person does. Addictions keep you about 12 to 14 years old. So again, they don't feel equipped to be able to do the rough stuff, the tough stuff. Oftentimes they've been abused, abandoned, neglected, hurt, injured, something that they haven't dealt with. And the addiction is this mask over that. And so he knows he prefers it over you. The fact that you're there, that's convenient and wonderful. But if it comes down to you and whatever it is, it wins. And if you look over the course of his life, you will see a pattern where it wins and women lose. Number 3, finances. It takes a lot to get married financially, and some guys just don't want to get married until they feel like they can afford a mortgage payment, a car payment, insurance, and they have kind of a number in their head that until I can crack that nut of X amount of thousands a month, I don't think I want to get married. That one's probably the easiest to solve because they can take on different responsibilities, grow in their career, and there's ways to expedite wealth. But however, that's a reason, and you might need to just talk about that. The next 2 might be challenging to hear, but free sex is free. If you're giving him sex and he's able to not commit and it's free food, this is the way men think. I'm not saying it's right, but I'm saying free food is free food, free sex is free sex, so why pay for it? Why go into the commitment? Why go into the heartbreak? Why have kids? Why do all of that work? Why tie up your finances and then she gets half of them sometime down the line of your life? Why do all of that when I'm getting it for free? Now again, that's immature thinking, and it doesn't have to do with love, but your relationship may or may not have to do with love. It may have to do with convenience. And so that is a reason why some guys don't get married, because why? Lastly, you're not demanding commitment. Maybe there's unworthy feelings. Maybe you know that if you push, you will be rejected. Maybe you just have this ongoing hope that one day he's going to choose you, which generally speaking, like in the movie He's Not Into You, you should probably watch that. There may be a point when you show up and you say, listen, I'm worth an entire life sacrifice. And if you're not willing to give me 40 or 50 years of your life, I'm not willing to continue. Okay, that gives a pause, because now you're saying you're worth something. Okay, like here, you're saying I'm worth this, and his behavior, because he's getting free sex and free everything, he thinks you're worth this. So you're challenging the worth issue. And if he really does love you and can't live without you, because it's not the ones you can live with, it's the ones you cannot live without that you marry, then your worth statement might provoke that change, but it also might provoke the reality that he doesn't think you're worth 40 or 50 years of his life. And only he can make that decision. You are totally powerless. Now, what you're not powerless over is kind of asking and moving forward. Of course, you can get counseling if you feel there's issues. If he's dealing with stuff in his past, okay, you can go a while and work with that. If he has mommy issues, okay, he could deal with that. But if he's not dealing with stuff, then you might not have the worth that you deserve. And then you have to find out, why do I stay when it makes no sense? We have a video on that. It's in the description. You can go through that material and find out why you stay, whether it's financial reasons, emotional reasons, past reasons, whatever you're trying to work through or compensate through his development. There are reasons why you stay. So that's the part you can work on. Him not marrying you, there's a few suggestions there. But the reason you stay, that's on your side of the ledger. Look into that. If you need help, give us a call, 719-278-3708, or get the video, Why Do I Stay When It Doesn't Make Sense? You're worth decades of loving, exploring, knowing, creating a life with, having children with, having grandchildren with. But you have to behave as if you're worth that. So look at your behavior. If we can be of help, we'd be happy to do that. And if you haven't subscribed, go ahead and do that. If you have a question about this or anything, go ahead and put it in the box. We'll get right back to you.